Alright, what's up, y'all? So this video right here is a speculation on Wilt Chamberlain and Otto Porter Jr., as well as Michael Jordan and Jimmy Butler. Now, going back, let's start with Wilt Chamberlain and Otto Porter Jr. You see this picture right here is from 1993, in which Wilt was standing with Shaq and Patrick Ewing before the game, pre-game. And if you look at Wilt, I mean, his body and his shape, he look like he could still get out there and run with them guys, maybe in a practice just for fun. You know, say he wanted to do some training. You know how Hakeem, when he got out the league, he actually still had the physique of a player that could play a little bit just in practice. And I know there's a video on YouTube where he was teaching Dwight Howard some post moves back in like 2010. He was working with LeBron, Dwight Howard, and it was one more big man that he was working with. But anyway, and he kind of had Wilt Chamberlain's stature too. Like, he wasn't as built, but he had a skinny physique and was in shape where it looked like he could go out and play a little bit longer if he wanted to. Not like in a real game, but just like pick up. And I've seen guys like at the local gym who were there at this age, like 57, 58. Some of them even going up to their 60s, and they can still get out there and play if they want to. So it really just depends. But anyway, getting back to the main point, Wilt Chamberlain, 57 in this picture in 1993. That's the same year that Otto Porter was born. And the reason I brought this up, I actually saw this picture the other day, and it was showing Wilt Chamberlain, Otto Porter Jr. You see Otto Porter, the Warriors, they came back with these Philadelphia Warrior jerseys. And if you look, that's the type of jersey Wilt had on. And heck, this picture may not even be as saturated as it needs to be, because the colors are a little bit more vivid over here. And anyway, looking at it, I mean, they look strikingly similar. And I'm going to go all the way to the other pictures where they're really close. You look here, look how Otto Porter looks, and then look how Wilt Chamberlain looks. I mean, they both, like, Wilt Chamberlain's face looks a little more relaxed, but nonetheless, they still look very similar. They both have the mustache. They both have a soul patch under their bottom lip. They both had goatees. Wilt doesn't have a goatee in this one, but he had a goatee as well. Same complexion, pretty much. Both of them are very tall. They're pretty much in the top 1% of the population in height-wise. They just look very similar. I mean, I just wouldn't put it past. And my whole thing is, okay, he's Otto Porter Jr., so people are saying, well, how could he be Wilt Chamberlain's son? He's a junior. Well, that's why. I mean, if he's named a junior, you're never going to question if he's anybody else's son. You're automatically going to apply him to Otto Porter Sr. But that's why they probably named him that, because they know nobody would ever question it. So it's kind of like a cover-up. Like, you know, well, let's not say he's Wilt Chamberlain's son. Let's just make him a junior of somebody else. I mean, we've seen it happen a lot. I think I saw an episode of Jerry Springer where, I can't remember what it's called, supersedent twins, I think. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like where there are two twins that are of different fathers. You know, they fertilize the egg at the same time, and then you can have twins of two different fathers. And this man called his son Junior, and then came to find out that the son was never even his to begin with. So it can happen, trust me. And with the whole legend that Wilt Chamberlain slept with like 20,000 women, which I can't really put it past him that he didn't, or say that he didn't, or it's not possible. Because if you look at even high school basketball players, they pretty much got every bad female in the school on them. You feel me? Like, if you was a hooper in high school, even in college, you pretty much had every bad female flocking on you. Whether you was basketball, baseball, football, those are the three major sports where the girls will flock to, because girls just like athletes. You feel me? So anyway, with Wilt Chamberlain being in the NBA, he went to Kansas for college. So it definitely had to start in college, if not in his high school years. Definitely started in college, worked his way up to the NBA. And he played more, I think he did track and field because he was doing high jump. Then he played basketball too. So, I mean, he had it in both fields. So it wouldn't shock me at all if he had conceived it, or not conceived, but slept with that many women. And 20,000, that's enough to cover a whole city. So, and you got to think about it. It's not just in one area. We talking about nationwide in the U.S. We talking about possibilities of him going. I know he flew outside the country. He probably had flown outside of the country a couple times. So you could have women overseas that may have had his child or may have slept with him. So yeah, it would not shock me at all. Starting at the age of like 18, 19 years old, all the way up to like 57. That's like, what, 38 years, 39 years? So, I mean, almost 40 years of sleeping around with women. I mean, he could build his numbers up. Thing is, I don't know how he would preserve all his energy unless he was like holding off on every 4 women, you know? Because, I mean, he basically had to sleep with at least one woman every day of the year for almost 40 years. And, man, you be drained out doing that, man. I'm telling you. Now, he probably had some days where he slept with, I ain't gonna lie, he probably had high numbers in some nights, but we saying at least one woman a day for the whole year. So, let's say he slept with 8 women in one night, supposedly. He probably could lay off for the whole week and then just go on about his business. But just back to the main point. It's a high possibility that these two were related in father and son, and being father and son, and they look too similar. Either they father and son or somebody doing some cloning, because that's the only other way I can put it. But let's get on to Michael Jordan. This picture right here is of Michael Jordan's playground. That's a movie that came out in 1989. And if you see, just to show y'all proof, he has the Jordan 4. People call these the Breads, but these are the black and reds of the Jordan 4 playoffs. He had these on. This is 1989. I believe this is March of 1989, and I think Jimmy Butler was born in September of 1989. Or one or the other, I can't remember. It might be the other way around. But anyway, you see Jay Butler back there on the wall, which could have been a subliminal to us seeing that, you know, Jimmy Butler may have been his upcoming son that he may have never even took care of or met. And you remember Jimmy Butler's story. He got adopted by a family when he was in like middle school. So who's to know? You know, man, he could be Michael Jordan's son for real. And if you look here, they're strikingly similar as well. They both got the same nose. Wouldn't say the same ears. Michael Jordan's ears are a little more thick. But they both had goatees. You know, Michael had that goatee when he came back in the league from playing baseball. And Jimmy Butler has that mustache. And Michael Jordan's hair pattern, the curl pattern that he had is the same of Jimmy Butler's. Jimmy Butler has that tight curl pattern. Michael Jordan did too when he had his hair grown out. So, especially like from when he was younger at least. So, would not shock me at all. And then you look at this picture right here, they look very similar. I mean, look at them, man. They laughing. And Michael Jordan over there telling Jimmy Butler, he's like, you know, we pulled this off. You know, these kids don't even understand what we pulling off on them. They don't even know you my son. But your bitch ass better not say anything. You know, you my son, but I throw you a couple million, just don't say anything. We're going to keep pulling this thing off. And hopefully you be in the finals one year or so. But yeah, man. I mean, if you look at them, they smile looks really similar too. I mean, it's like I said, it looked like they met back up and said, man, I had to see my son. We got to pull this camp off, man. And it did, because Jimmy Butler was on the Bulls, so you know Mike was around for that. Yeah, but you look here, they do look very similar, man. They do. You know, you could say Jimmy Butler's nose is a little more flat. Maybe it's the angle of the picture, but they both do look very similar. And just wouldn't put it past myself if Michael, because Michael Jordan is the most known basketball player of all time. I mean, I don't care. I know I can ask somebody who don't even watch sports, who hasn't watched a lick of sports in their life, and they'll know who Michael Jordan is. It's just like everybody knows who Michael Jackson is. Same difference. So with Wilt sleeping with 20,000, it wouldn't shock me if Mike was married to Juanita, and I think he remarried another woman. I can't remember her name. But so yeah, even though with him being married, I guarantee you Mike had his fair share of women too. Because I think it was said with Magic Johnson, and I got a video on that coming up. But Magic Johnson, it was said that I think he slept with over 5,000. So I could just imagine the numbers that Mike was putting up on and off the court. You feel me? Balling. 3-ball, 4-ball, 5-ball. He doing it all. You feel me? But like I said, it wouldn't shock me at all if he had conceived Jimmy Butler's mother or biological mother with him. And, it just came full circle. Now he's back on the Bulls, and now he's on the Heat, the same team that retired Michael Jordan's jersey. So, I don't know. I mean, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, man. Here, I'm just going to show y'all these pictures again. Scroll back through them. But, yeah, to me, if I had to choose between one or the other, I would definitely say that Wilt's is a little more possible. Well, I don't know. The reason I say it's more possible is because of the number of women he slept with. It was said that he slept, because even if he didn't sleep with 20,000, he probably could have slept with 16,000. I mean, a man that's literally sex crazed, I guess you would say, and really just goes after and seeks after it a lot, especially at Wilt's stature and his stature and pretty much in society as an NBA player. Oh, he had the access to him. Every city, every state, he had him, even different countries. So, would not shock me at all. Because even an average man who isn't like that high in social status like Wilt could still be in triple digits. So, it wouldn't shock me if Wilt gotten to 5-digit figures or whatever you want to call it. So, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, man. I'm going to leave this video here. Who do y'all think is more of a possibility? Michael Jordan, Jimmy Butler, or Wilt Chamberlain and Otto Porter? Now, the only reason I say that it may not be a possibility with Wilt is because he was so much older. But that still doesn't knock away from it. The only reason you would say that Michael is more possible is because he was still playing at the time of which Jimmy Butler would have been born. Jimmy Butler was born in 1989, so Mike was still pretty much in the prime of his career. Whereas if Wilt had conceived one with Otto Porter Jr., he would have been well retired. Because I think Wilt retired in 1972, which means that he would have had Otto Porter Jr. 21 years later. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, man. Are either of these a far-fetched, or are they both highly possible? Y'all let me know what y'all thinking, man. I'm going to leave this video here.